Hey everybody, welcome back to Bones and Brews. So we're going to try something new today that if you've been following online lately, like on Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your social media platform might be, there's this craze called shotgun shells. It seems to be doing really well in like Australia, the Netherlands, places overseas. So we're going to try it here today, the St. Louis edition. All right, so the way this works is we've got some Manicotti shells, and I've taken these Manicotti shells, and since we don't have oven-ready Manicotti shells here available in any of my local stores, so it made this much easier, I took these shells and I actually just steamed them in a pot on the side burner of my grill. I steamed them just for a couple of minutes just to add a little moisture inside them, but I don't want them super soft yet because I think all the juices and everything of what we're going to fill it with are going to take care of the rest of that process for us. So what we're going to do is first we're going to stuff these shells, and I've got from my local market I've got some Italian pork sausage here. I'm going to take that and throw it in my mixing bowl. All right, and then I've got a little bit of finely, like almost minced red onion. I'm going to throw that in as well. I've done the same with a small jalapeno that I cored out and chopped up and minced up a little bit, so we're going to throw that in as well. And then last but not least, I've got some finely shredded, like a Mexican blend cheese. So I'm going to throw in probably about a cup of that as well, based on what's available in the bag here. I know there's 2 cups in the bag. All right, I'm gonna throw myself a glove on real quick, and I am going to mix all of this together. So I've been, if you're in kind of watching a lot of things that are going on in the barbecue world lately, this has been like this crazy like concept that I've just seen flashing up everywhere, and I thought, you know what the heck, let's give it a shot and see what happens. It might turn out awesome. It might be horrible. I contemplated on what type of meat to use inside of the shells. I kind of thought about pork. I thought about a mixture of pork and ground beef. I thought about ground beef. I thought about ground chicken, actually. I even thought about what if I had like a little bit of ground beef plus some really fine minced like leftover brisket to throw in there. So I think you can really play with this idea until you really see something that you really like. All right, so this is really nice and mixed together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go like on the cheap version here. Instead of using a piping bag to fill the manicotti, got myself a nice big old Ziploc bag. All that meat really actually stuck together with everything in it. So it's all in that bag. I'm going to squeeze all the air out of the bag. Close it up. Grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut the tip off of one of the corners and use this to fill the manicotti shells. So what we'll do is we'll start filling those shells, and this is definitely going to take me a little while. Not going to be as easy as I thought, that's for sure, but much easier than trying to spoon in all of the mixture. All right, that one's ready. All right, so I'm going to take a few minutes, and I'm going to continue to fill all these shells. When we come back, we'll be ready for the next step. All right, so I got my shells all filled up, and the next step of the process is to get the bacon ready. So considering that those shells are not fully cooked and they're not oven ready type shells you can sometimes find in your stores, we are going to take the bacon, and I'm going to actually lay it out here. I'm guessing it could take up to 2 strips of bacon per shell to wrap it completely. But before we get into that wrapping process, we're actually going to coat one side of that bacon with a good old sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. I'm gonna just kind of coat it all the way through. All right, so we'll grab one of those shells. I've got my bacon here. Add a little bit more barbecue sauce. All right, I'm gonna flip that piece around there so I can. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take it just on the outer edge of the shell, wrap it, and I'm just gonna start rolling. Rolling that bacon all the way around nice and tight. And then I'll go to that second piece and do the same thing. And so that manicotti is nice, wrapped, 2 pieces of bacon. We're gonna throw that on there. All right, grab myself a paper towel, wipe my hands off real quick. And what I'm gonna do next is, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a little more barbecue sauce across the top. And because I love this stuff, I'm gonna hit it with a little Meat Church Honey Hot Hog and sprinkle across the top of that. And that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of these shells. So I'm gonna finish these up. We're gonna throw them on the smoker at about 250, 275. I'm guessing they're gonna take about 2 hours. I might turn up the vents a little bit, open up the vents a little bit on the Weber Smoky Mountain, let it get a little hotter the last few minutes so that bacon gets nice and crispy. And then we'll be ready to add our finishing touches and enjoy these shotgun shells. All right, it's been 2 hours and our shotgun shells have come off the Weber Smoky Mountain. That bacon is nice and crispy and is actually nice and caramelized too, because I kept opening it up and brushing it with that barbecue sauce a few times through the process, so the sugars in that barbecue sauce are nice and it's caramelized around that bacon on top of that shotgun shell. And what I've done here on my plate is I've actually gone ahead and I sprinkled it a little bit more with the old honey hog. And what I've got here is a little bit of pepper jack queso. So I go ahead and start to drizzle a little bit of queso on the tips of those to start taking bites of those later. But I've got one here for us to sample that I've not even tried yet, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut that open. And see inside that all that sausage mixture is nice and ready and nice and warm there. So I'm going to take a little bit of that pepper jack queso, throw it on there. That, my friends, is really, really good. Holy cow. For the first time making this, I kind of had low expectations. This is incredible. Oh my gosh. And I can really tell, I'm gonna be honest, having that fresh ground pork inside with those ingredients that we made originally, and then having the honey hog on there, that kind of just it really sets it off. All right, so now I'm gonna need to wash it down. So like every episode, we gotta get ourselves a cold beer. Today we've got the Change of Art, which is a hazy IPA from Second Shift Brewing here in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh yeah, that is going to pair perfectly with these shotgun shells. I'll tell you what, the family is going to be blown away. I actually prepped them for low expectations as well. These are incredible. You got to try them at home. All right. So, like every episode of Bones and Brews, like us, share us, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again on Bones and Brews.